Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of McMillan and Morrow. I'm Dr. Sean McMillan. This is my co-host, Rich Morrow.
What up, what up?
Listen, everybody, we have a guest with us today. Good friend of mine, my dear brother, Dr. Jamal Bryant. What's up, man?
It's an honor. I'm excited to be on the 27th episode. Thank you for having me.
You're acting up already. Dr. Bryant is the pastor of the New Birth Missionary Baptist Church in Atlanta. He's an activist. He is a thinker, a thought leader, and a dear, dear friend. And it's absolutely a pleasure to have you on today. Thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to talk about a bunch of ridiculous things with us.
I'm glad to be a part. Thank you, sir.
I'm just warning you. I know how serious you are. Some of this won't be serious, okay?
I got it.
I'm just telling you right now. This won't be no deep civil rights. We're not doing that. All right? So Rich is our guide. He walks us through, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you softened him up a little bit.
Yeah, I gotta warn him because he's gonna call me later and be like, "What was that?"
I'm ready.
So, welcome, Pastor Bryant. I'm not even gonna read the headline on this first story, but I'm just gonna ask you a question to get it started off.
Oh God.
Would you be surprised to hear that demands for deliverance from demonic possession have greatly increased across the world?
No, I wouldn't be surprised at all. The question is, has deliverance increased?
That is a very good question.
Yes, that's a great answer.
That is a question we're going to get in part an answer to. As you know, there's a lot of, situations where people have what they feel are, demonic presences in their lives. Well, the Vatican is now implementing training courses for priests and exorcisms. And the increase represented a pastoral emergency, as they call it. And according to a priest from Sicily, the number of people in Italy claiming to be possessed had tripled to 500,000 a year. And an Irish priest had said,
"Wait, 500,000 people?"
Mm-hmm. They're saying it's rising exponentially.
Then the Vatican must be in Atlanta.
Whoa.
Up there, 500,000, 100,000 of them.
100,000 from Atlanta
alone, huh?
Alone.
But what's interesting about this is that I think there's some other classes the Vatican needs to be teaching priests. Considering the Vatican and the priest, they need to give them some other classes.
They're saying there's a lot of young priests.
But also, too, that, Dr. Sean, it really shows the stepping away the Black church has done. Because there was an hour where deliverance was very heavy in our ministries, and you no longer see it. As a consequence, whenever you see deliverance ministries on a national or global scale, it's either people in Africa who are doing it or people who are in South America.
That's true.
Where America clearly needs a whole lot of deliverance. And I am curiously afraid how much lack of training is taking place in our church. We just handing out vials of oil.
Well,
saying catch 'em.
Jamal, let me ask you this, because would you say that's because we've lost some of the Africanness?
I would say it is because a lot of Pentecostals and apostolics have attempted to go mainstream.
Oh, we're trying to be Joel Osteen.
Yes,
there
yes.
You go.
So this whole, you're not delivering demons on an LED wall. You need that in the fellowship. Deliverance, Sean, does not come with closed captions.
Come on.
You got to go through it. Now,
Yeah.
But you got to think in terms of, we don't even have deliverance services. Sean, when we were growing up, you would have revival, bringing of revivalists. And while revival's going on, people coming into the church drunk, people coming in high.
Right.
People who are coming in,
it sounds like Rich.
fighting all kinds of demons. Right. But now we're only inviting people to do revival based off of what kind of draw they have and how much money they can raise.
Yeah, that's terrible.
And I'm going to pause to say something to both you, Dr. McMillan, and Brother Morrow. I don't know in the 21st century, from Gen X to Gen Z, who has built a Brian, drum roll, as a soul winner.
Yeah.
Not on catchy little quotes on relationships, not little tweets on how to fix your credit, but bring in so-and-so. When so-and-so comes to town, souls are going to be won.
Yeah.
And I think when the church goes back to that, then deliverance comes and shakes its hand.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I think you're right on that. You know, but I also think that, you know, the whole notion of, now I'm a little, Dr. Bryant he on this show today, he's the resident pastor and serious voice. I, however, am not.
Okay.
Because, and Doc, you tell me if you agree with this. I think a lot of so-called demonic possession happens to be people trying to process their way through. I don't know if it's literal demonic possession, because I think we blame the devil for things that we actually do. My point is, if you have 500,000 people in Italy thinking they're possessed by the devil, I think it's probably something else.
Yeah. You think that?
Well, I'm going to meet you, Sean, in your terms on the 50-yard line, that what is the church's disconnect from mental health?
Right.
Because a lot of Black churches, we trying to cast out people who are bipolar.
Yeah.
Right.
No, really.
Right. They really
When
fighting
dealing with
themselves,
it.
and you thinking they fighting a demon down.
Yeah, and I think that that's where the training goes forth. And I'd be very interested to find out what happens in the training, because in a lot of Black churches, Sean, our training is you're trained to be an altar worker.
Right.
Catch people before they fall.
Right.
Our ushers are trained, give people mints and a cup of water.
Right.
You know, deacons are trained, throw a sheet over them so we don't see up their skirt.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
He ain't no
You know,
joke.
I'd like to know what that training is.
Yeah, it's saying that we're at a critical stage in history right now because many Christians no longer believe in the devil's existence. And they're saying few exorcists are appointed, and there are no more young priests that are willing to learn the doctrine and practice of liberation of souls. So that's what they say is they feel like is a losing and dying practice all around the world. So, you know, it hits on the head pretty much what you were saying, you know, about people just not.
So let me ask you this, Rich. Do you believe in the devil, as it were?
I do. I believe in the devil. I believe if there's a God in my, you know, eyes, there has to be, you know, and there's always so many lessons in life and experiences in life that you go through where, one, you're gonna have, you know, your oppositions and, you know, things like that. But I don't feel it's right to just cast everything in one category. Like, I think, like you said, a lot of times there are situations where the consequences that we're dealing with are self-inflicted, and we're not always viewing it that way because we always want to place the blame on something, and it's easier to do that on something other.
I mean, I think evil is real, but I think that much of what we suffer from has more to do with foolishness than evil, and I think that we, you know, we have, especially if you're religious, like if you grew up in a certain kind of, you have a certain kind of religious background, you know, we will assign, you know, things to evil that I think, you know, as Jamal said, some of it's mental health, but some of it is us just being, you know, unrelentingly stupid. It's just,
but I think so. But I think at some points we underestimate the depth of spiritual warfare, that we have become so common with it that we just make it trite.
Brush it off.
When you're dealing with people who are dealing with, quote, their demons. You know what I mean? Yeah. We made it just passe subculture, Dr. Phil language, when it really exists, but it has to be dealt with that high level of discernment to know, is this demonic or is this depression?
Yeah.
Is this demonic or is this the vapor of a toxic childhood?
And that's where the
so
training.
I think all of those areas have got to be unpacked.
I agree. So I have a question for you, Pastor Jamal. Have you ever seen anyone that you feel has witnessed or have been possessed by the devil in your presence?
Yeah, 2 right now.
I should have known.
That's not
I set us
funny.
up for that one.
I'm joking.
That
No,
is
but
not-
the answer.
He is not happy
I
about.
wasn't prepared
He
for
is
that
not
one.
happy about this Morrow, which we won't discuss.
No, absolutely. I have been in services in Haiti. I've been in services in Ghana, in Nigeria, and I have been in services in Baltimore. It absolutely does exist. And I think that I want to applaud the Catholic Church for at least doing training so that there's a greater level of understanding. But I also don't want it to become so casual that we minimize what is the impact of it.
Amen to that.
Okay.
You look like you had something to say.
We disagree. We disagree. I mean, I think that evil is real, but I think people kind of get carried away.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to hear what Jamal says to that.
No, I'm gonna go with you.
You're not going with me. You don't agree with that.
No. I think evil is real. I think people are possessed by demons. Is not. I don't know if I'm gonna go with 500,000 people.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Like, out of that number,
That's
you
my
feel like there's a
point.
smaller percentage that actually.
500,000 people.
That's my point, Jamal. I'm like, wait a minute now.
That's a small city. That's a zip code. That's a congressional district. 500,000.
You got that's a
Tomorrow, Google how many people. Tomorrow, Google how many people live in Compton.
Right.
500,000 is a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. That's the point I'm making. Like, wait a minute now. I don't think all these people got the devil.
In 1 year. That's
crazy.
crazy.
Some of them got something else. Okay? I don't know what it is, but it's something else.
It's something else. You're just writing it as something else.
But let's move on.
No one does nosy better than me. Photos. We found 378 photos.
He good what he do, because I don't know how he found that.
These are years of snooping, okay? I know you nosy too. Head over to Nosy where you can watch full episodes of The Karamo Show and be nosy with me.
Okay, so we're going to take it over to Lebanon. According to the Daily Mail, there is a woman that robbed a bank for money to pay for her sister's cancer treatment. Are you standing with her, or do you think that she took it a little bit too far, even in the name of life and death?
Yeah, it is. What was that movie years ago? Denzel Washington did
John Q.
Something. John Q. And it is really just a poor state of affairs that people have to go to such extremes to what should be a right, which is health, and that healthcare has now become capitalistic industry.
Absolutely.
That is more about the cash register than transformation. A lot of medication is just for maintenance. It's not for healing. And much of what we talk about in the Black community is vogue to talk about financial literacy, but we say nothing about health literacy. I often say, Morrow, Black people die of strokes, and at the Black church, after the funeral, we serve them fried chicken and pound cake and say, have another. You know what I mean? Because we're not really dealing with health.
Have another one. Have another one.
It's terrible, but true. No, if I may, I think if your question is, do I stand with her? Absolutely.
Yeah, $13,000.
I mean, listen, and Jamal is right. It should never be the case that people have to go through those kind of extremes to secure health care or, the benefits of it for the people that they care about. It's more an indictment of the world she lives in than her actual literal behavior.
I agree.
No, absolutely. Dr. King said that crime is the bride of poverty, that wherever you see poverty, crime is close by. Wow. And I think that really answers a lot of the plight of the criminal justice system of Black people in America who have had to do what they've had to just to survive. It's not to floss, it's to pay the light bill.
Yeah.
You know, there's a whole sweep that's getting ready to happen.
You just said a mouthful with that.
Yeah, yeah. People who got them PPP loans who getting ready to put on orange jumpsuits. We're trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah,
Really?
and we were just talking about this on the last episode, the difference between being uncomfortable and desperation. And a lot of people confuse being uncomfortable for being desperate in situations
Wow.
and go to desperate measures. And this is a situation where literally this Lebanese woman held up a bank in Beirut with a toy gun to obtain $13,000 for her sister. Now, you know, you
If
guys
she was in
talking
America, somebody would have put up a GoFundMe by now.
I was going to say, and it's crazy because you get to see the difference between the approaches people are taking in different countries.
Right.
And granted, like you said, there's movie examples like John Q where we could see this happening in America in a different way. But like you said, man, this shouldn't be the circumstances where people are having to go to such lengths to just save what we feel like is a right to us and our health, you know, and being healthy and people that they care about. I don't know how we turn that around. I don't know how there's a solution for that to be found, but I definitely know that there's something that needs to be done here. So,
but you know, Pascal said that the heart has its reasons that reason cannot understand, and it's such the quote is apropos because when I listen to this story, I don't just see disparities or injustices with respect to healthcare. I also see love.
that's
I mean,
absolutely.
because we call a lot of things love that ain't got nothing to do with love. But when you are willing to break the law
yeah,
to save someone's life, and that's the only way you know how to do it, that's an extreme case of genuinely loving somebody.
and you know what's even crazier? She was stealing her own money.
What?
They told her that she could only get 200 pounds a month.
Wow.
And she went in there and demanded $13,000 that she knew she had in her account. So she wasn't even really
well, you
robbing
needed
them.
to open
Yeah, you need to open
I didn't
that.
realize that until I got further down into it, but I wanted to let y'all
read the
finish
whole
y'all
story,
points.
brother.
Yeah, so, but I didn't
Not
realize
sure
that
if
either
it's
until he
theft
brought
then. Is
up
that
love.
really stealing?
Yeah. Is that stealing?
When you hold up a bank with a toy gun, I mean, I guess so.
To get your money.
To get your money.
To get your money. She said she repeatedly visited the bank multiple times, and she was told she could only receive $200 a month, and she got a $13,000 bill for her sister that's about to have cancer. So that's even more problem with
That
the
opens
system.
up its levels to this. That opens
Absolutely.
up
I
a
didn't
whole
see
nother
that at first
discussion
either.
So what
as to why it is that they have limited withdrawals that's taking place.
and why it is you don't have the right or access to your money. It's your money.
That you've earned. It says bank deposits have been frozen for 3 years by the government in Lebanon because of their economic collapse in 2019, with depositors in Beirut beginning to take matters into their own hands, as you see. So it's a combination of the economy, a combination of the justice system. I feel like a combination of everything all in one. Just
What started out as a simple
it definitely got complex.
theft story became real complicated, boy.
Yeah.
But she became a hero on social media. People got behind her and really are supporting her because at the end of the day, when you know all of the facts of the situation now, I definitely don't see nothing wrong. Because I know my mama would have held up a bank.
Yeah, Jamal, I was just about to ask you, if you found yourself in that, you're a pastor, if you found yourself in a similar situation and the only way you could alleviate the suffering was to do something that sort of skirted up to breaking the law, what would you do?
I'd have to do it. I'm entertaining now if it was one of my daughters.
Yeah.
But the gun wouldn't be toy.
Facts.
I got to put it all on the line.
You got to put it on the line, Doc.
Listen, we going out in a blaze.
That's right. Listen, the heart has its reasons, right? That reason cannot understand. You know, I agree. I'm the same way. I mean, I think there are certain relationships, certain bonds that you're willing to transgress the law. We pastors here. It's Abraham and the sacrificing of his son, right? He's willing to he's willing to go there, you know. And listen,
Listen, it's Good Friday. He who knew no sin took on the sins of the whole world. I didn't do nothing, but I'm willing to do all of this to save people like Sean McMillan. That's
Wow. Wow.
That's a testimony.
He didn't die for you.
Wait a minute.
Did he die for you?
Did he die for you first?
Did he die for you first?
I make myself secondary.
You didn't know you're not secondary. First of all, you never make yourself secondary. That's A. And B,
today is an example.
He died for you first, and then me.
Y'all are so funny.
Yes.
Yeah, y'all are funny. I love
This is
y'all.
what I have to go through.
Oh, I can only imagine what y'all conversations are like
Died
off
for
camera.
Sean
every day.
McMillan.
He did.
He did.
So the woman got arrested. Is she free? What's going on with her?
So let's see. I don't think she got.
Morrow, you are losing a job on research.
Yeah, no. Well,
You trying to find
in my
this out.
defense, I wasn't the one that had picked the story, so it was one of the ones.
This is absolutely evident. You didn't
Yeah,
pick the
no, I
story.
didn't pick the story, but they don't really mention what's happened to her. It's an ongoing investigation still, but
They need to set her free.
Yeah.
Give her money. And
Nobody was hurt in the robbery.
nobody
Nope,
was hurt in the commission of this crime.
and was it really a crime by trying to get your own money?
No, I don't
It
think so.
sounded like the bank was robbing her,
Wow, that's a great point.
and she was just coming to get her money back.
Yeah.
You redeemed yourself, Morrow.
I'm trying. I got to get on your good side.
He's gonna be hard on you the entire.
I love it
conversation.
though. I can handle it. I'm already dealing with you.
Because
So.
he thinks it should be McMillan and Bryant.
And Bryant, hey, I'm sorry.
That is absolutely not true. That is not true. It should really be Bryant and McMillan.
You see?
Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. No.
Wait,
I gotta be the lead now.
wait, who you calling
You know
Otis?
what's crazy? I just ran into the actor that said that in the movie at the game, and the first thing I wanted to say, "Whoa, ain't nobody come to see you, Otis."
It's a true story.
I wonder how many people come up to him and say that.
I'm sure a lot.
Oh man, I love this. Okay, y'all ready for this next one?
We are.
So, do you know what age range is considered middle-aged? Exactly, the exact age. Do you know?
Watch it, Morrow.
I'm asking. This is literally just a question.
I think it's, what is it, 45?
It's
Is
40 to
midlife crisis?
60.
Say it again.
40 to 60 is considered middle-aged now.
Oh, well, I'm right in the middle of that.
So it says that the term midlife crisis was coined in 1965. And, the most common conception is 40 to 60. Well, apparently, according to Body and Soul, millennials are reaching middle age, and it's like a huge thing going on where that whole feeling of being basically stable and, breaking free from the monotony of their lives up until that point that was sought after for so long is dwindling away because most millennials aren't reaching those goals in that time period anymore. And it's leading to a lot of, a lot of midlife crises.
Oh, God. Y'all get on my nerves. You do. I mean, I don't know what you got to say to this, Jamal. You can be pastoral, but y'all, all you damn millennials work my nerves, including the two I'm raising.
Yeah, no, it is really the changing of the finish line.
Yeah.
So millennials are excelling in a lot of ways that their parents did not, that are able to travel the world and doing it all before having kids, all before getting married. So they're having what I'm calling a post-puberty of coming into themselves with responsibility much later than what their parents or their grandparents did.
I could feel that. And just through my parents and self, I know my mom had to grow up at a really, really early age compared to me. And they're saying that although midlife is not necessarily something we should be so fixated on, it's more so about them not having achieved many of the traditional milestones such as marriage and home ownership and you know, all of the things that we're experiencing now, instead of that like hardship and that being extended into those.
Right, but they got to understand that nobody is blocking them from those things.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Nobody.
That's a choice.
Yeah, this
they make.
is self-inflicted.
Yeah, I mean, if you want that, you can have that.
Yeah, I agree. And I was just curious, y'all take on, you know, I guess kind of the climate of that. Like, do you feel that the younger generations are, you know, just soft in that regard, or do you feel like they're focusing more so on the freedom of being this and that? And
no, life is coming at us fast. You got to understand, girls now are going through their cycle at 10, at 11. That black males are being profiled at 12. And so they are living in the speed of life. Stevie wanted to talk about the keys of life. We are in the speed of life.
Right.
To know that every, 14 months is a new iPhone.
Right.
Because everything has changed and upgraded. I grew up with ABC, CBS, and NBC. And if you lived in the county, you had HBO. Now, you know, people got 300 channels talking about they got nothing to watch.
Look, and Netflix and everything else.
Right. No, and you know what I think? I think that somewhere along the way, your generation didn't get the message that life doesn't always conform to your conception of it. Life is unruly. Heraclitus was right. It's always moving. It's in flux. And that is the nature of it. You know, that even when we're in a good place, we know that that's not going to last forever.
Absolutely.
You know, even when we're, you know, flossing on Instagram, that is a moment in time. And somewhere along the way, members of my generation on some level and yours just didn't get that message. You know, or you won't accept the truth of it.
That's really what it sounds like, is people accepting the reality.
And it is finding consistency in a culture that is transient. So if you can imagine, Sean, the largest hotel chain in the world is no longer Marriott, Hilton, or Sheraton or Ritz-Carlton. The largest hotel chain in the world is Airbnb. And they own no property.
No problem.
Right.
The largest car dealership in the world is not Mitsubishi. It is not Toyota.
CarMax.
It's Uber. And Uber owns no cars. And so how do you find success with no consistency? And millennials are waking up realizing, look, I got a closet full of Jordans, a closet full of A1s. I got a closet full of bags in a place I'm renting.
Right. With no kids.
With
no, that's going to strike some nerves out there.
Morrow, you all are the very first generation to have housewarmings for apartments.
Apartment warmings.
but he's right, you know.
He's very right.
No, he's right. And that's a daunting thing to wake up and realize that you're not in control. It's a daunting thing to have to accept the fact that you have to yield to forces that won't comply to your vision of yourself, your world, and all of that. Here's the last part. I'll say this. It's a daunting thing to wake up and realize that there are consequences for not the mistakes, because we understand that, but there are consequences for the decisions that you've made. Right? Because Jamal talked about millennials, you know, traveling around the world, doing all these wonderful, great things, and putting off families and putting off some of the things that other generations did earlier, which gives them a greater sense of groundedness and security. And you wake up one morning and realize, as he said, I got a lot of Jordans, I got a lot of followers.
Ain't got nobody to share it with.
But there's nobody in this house.
You know, it sounds like a real big case of people having an idea of how life should be versus accepting the reality of how life actually is. And we get this idea drawn up in our heads for our future when we're, you know, growing up and dreaming and you have aspirations. And when it gets disrupted and it's not as, you know, as pretty as we imagined it. I know the world isn't nearly as, you know, kind and forgiving as I thought it was when I was younger, where now it puts things in a reality, you know, that actually matches up with what's actually going on and the truth, you know, of the situation. But yeah, I think a lot of people from my perspective, my age, I see get caught up in how they feel like life should be. And it's like, this didn't come with a rule book. Ain't nobody told us, you know, exactly what's going to happen. God is the only one that knows the plan for your life, you know? And a lot of people
when
think
I
they
was growing
got
up, we had Windows, and we could upgrade Windows. Now what iPhone is saying is that when new technology comes out, don't upgrade, throw this away. And you got to realize, what is the subconscious messaging is that my upgrade comes with replacement. It is not impacting or improving what I already have. And so in the 50s, 60s, you got more money, you upgraded your house, upgraded your car. Your generation has been programmed that when I upgrade, I got to get something new. So now your generation all of a sudden outgrows friends and don't have lifelong friends.
It's like, you ain't gonna work nothing out with nobody.
Yeah. No,
Like, what's wrong with you?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It's an excellent point. And you'd be surprised at how no one challenges that in the culture.
Yeah.
I mean, we all sort of have this social media. I don't know what the hell you call it.
I got a love-hate with it. I understand.
But it's this social media way of thinking.
It's like ideology.
that reinforces and validates incorrect thinking.
Yeah.
Wow.
And a way of being in the world that doesn't actually work for you.
Just because people clicked on it.
You know, but I Jamal, I think that's an excellent point. Because I know very few people who have lifelong friends anymore.
Yeah.
Because you don't work it out. You don't stick it out. You just, like, as you say, you outgrow them, you block them, and you just move on.
Or look at, Sean, what social media has done to friendships, that are you my friend on Facebook?
Yeah.
Right, right.
You never had dinner with me.
Right.
You don't know when my birthday is. How will we, because you liked my picture, that's the qualifier.
We friends now? Yeah.
Yeah, we friends now. So I think that we have really diluted the value and the base of what friendship really is.
Yeah, and all relationships as a whole. Because even the divorce rates are over 50% now too. There's a lot of different situations this is translating to, I've seen. And just relationships between humans in general.
So it doesn't surprise me, therefore, that you have a generation coming into what's called being middle age with all of that are dealing with a midlife crisis.
Yeah.
They were having a crisis long before they got to middle age.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not, Jamal, let me ask you this. I'm not sure who lied to them. I mean, I'm not sure if it was our generation or the one before us or a combination of the two that sort of set them up for this emotional disappointment and failure.
Well, this generation is the first generation, Sean, that doesn't know how to drive a stick shift car. That says I got to press the brake while shifting gears and press the gas. Everything for this generation is automatic. And as a consequence, it has impacted their drive because they don't understand that I can move forward while slowing down. I can move forward while making a change. And so I think it is nobody's fault as much as they are the blessing and the curse of technology. By virtue of the fact that a generation ago, for me to be on the McMillan and Morrow show, you all would have to book me while I'm in LA.
Right.
But now for you all to do it while you all are in LA and I'm in Atlanta, there is no reason to pause.
Yeah, no, I think you might be right. I think it isn't. So what I hear you saying, Jamal, it isn't a result of a of a particular way of parenting or behavior, it's the consequence of the improvements that we've made in technology and giving people access to certain resources. And that access has produced a certain kind of person.
Yeah. That's
yes, because technology does not come with ethics. And so my daughters in middle school could FaceTime. So in FaceTime, you don't need a play date. So in 6th grade, they had a big scandal all over the school from a girl who was on FaceTime getting dressed. Nobody told her don't do that.
Right.
She didn't know better.
Right.
Because watch this, Sean. It would have been no issue, drum roll, if she was getting dressed at a slumber party.
Right.
You're going to get dressed in front of the whole group.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody has given a code of ethics. Nobody has taught, what do I do with this technology? We had to sit down with my daughter when we let her open up Instagram. Hey, you're 17 years old. Don't accept any friend request from a 35-year-old. Sean, for our generation, it was don't get in the van.
Don't get in the car, right? Right, don't get in the car.
Don't take lollipops.
Don't talk to strangers,
Don't eat the apple that you get on Halloween.
Yeah, there's a razor in there.
There's a razor in it, that's right.
School year. And so we have to go through a different process of what is that social media etiquette and how it is that we move forward and apply that over to life skills.
No, I think that's such a great point, that technology doesn't come with ethics. It doesn't come with the moral system. Neither does, by the way, economic systems don't come with moral values either, by the way. You have to apply them. That's such a great point.
It's excellent.
Because I think that's the part that's missing. We've exported the technology.
Now we got to get the ethics to catch up.
Now we got to get some sort of moral framework to help people manage what we've given them.
According to ABC, this is in Florida, your favorite place. A woman calls.
That's actually Jamal's favorite place.
You love Florida too? I went to Florida Atlantic University, so I'm big Florida fan. And there's a story. Okay, so a woman calls for a Sugar Daddy and Mommy Appreciation Day at a zoning board meeting down in Florida. So she wants there to be a celebration.
Look at his face. Look at his face. Why do you have that face?
I'm not understanding. Go ahead, Morrow.
I'm going to explain it further. So, you know how they have the board meetings every week, in the counties. Well, a woman came up and she had a presentation to the chairman and asked if it'd be possible for them to consider having an appreciation day for all the sugar daddies and sugar mamas that are in the county, because they should be celebrated and there should be a day dedicated to it.
Pastor?
I object.
What exactly do you object to?
I want to hear your real thoughts.
Is the capitalism of intimacy, of socially approved prostitution.
Prostitution, that's what it is at the end of the day.
That says it's okay as long as you're paying, I'm available. As long as you're paying, you can have my time. As long as you're paying, then I don't mind being arm candy. I don't know what message that is.
Not a good one. She brought up numbers about how Florida has the largest.
You got to reign with.
Florida has the largest per capita.
The heavy lifting.
Nobody.
Say it again, sir.
I was saying Florida has the largest per capita of this interaction out of anywhere in the country.
What interaction? Sugar daddies?
Sugar daddies and sugar mamas.
I don't know if that's true.
Who knows? But she's
hold on. Jamal, where do you think the greatest number of sugar daddies and sugar mamas are?
You gonna say Atlanta?
Atlanta.
Really?
You know how many people are moving here on a wing and a prayer, thinking they're going to be the Tyler Perry movie?
Look, half of them ended up in them, it seemed like.
With no credit, no degree, no nothing, but everybody in Atlanta
balling.
So there's got to be a bunch of sugar.
Something going on.
It's a lot going on. It's valet parking at Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah. Well, listen. So is this person wanted the sugar mamas and daddies to be appreciated and thought that there should be a public recognition of them.
Yeah, she walked in with her sugar daddy, wheeled him in a wheelchair, they said.
In a wheelchair?
She got her old one.
Oh, jeez.
She got a sugar granddaddy. But yeah, apparently she's serious.
Got a sugar corpse.
She says that the women help the economy by doing this and that they're helpful. That, sugar daddies.
She's going to hell.
Yeah, I mean, she's literally promoting prostitution in a way.
Yeah, no, that's not.
And I only say that until I turn 80.
and then your whole perspective is going to change.
I'm sewing back into the community.
Sewing back into the community. But the point I'm making, and maybe you two are affirming it, and I just can't hear it, but the point I'm making is this isn't no new phenomenon.
No.
I mean, people...
Sugar daddies is not a new phenomenon. Calling for there to be cards at Hallmark is a new phenomenon.
That's true.
Yeah, we have lost the gift of discretion.
That's good.
Now, everybody it's your thing. Our mothers used to say a phrase that you don't hear no more. That phrase, Mara, is going to be alien to you. Our mother used to say, your slip is showing. And it does not register for a generation that don't wear slips.
Yeah.
Right.
I know what a slip is, so I figured it out. Context clues.
Yes.
Right. No, I think you absolutely, the fact that we would want to honor it
is a problem.
Celebrate it publicly.
Yeah.
With the audacity of going to a public hearing.
With your sugar daddy.
With your sugar daddy.
For the city to know.
For the city to know.
Yeah.
So there's no shame on either part.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah. No, I think that is different.
Yeah, it is.
That is different.
Not the Hallmark cards.
That was good, Jamal.
That was real good.
That was good.
Okay, so I think y'all are gonna like this next one because it actually shows, some fickle of hope for humanity here. According to the NPR, a recent study was published in the Science Journal that explored the question of whether or not people are more likely to return a wallet based on its contents. And the experiment was conducted on a large scale, right, with researchers dropping off over 17,000 lost wallets in 40 different countries, each containing a small clear case holding a few business cards, a grocery list, and, some regular stuff in it. Some of the wallets contained no money, while others had the equivalent of about $13. The wallets were left in places where people would typically bring a wallet, that they found on the ground, such as police stations, hotels, post office, and stuff. Surprisingly, the results were that consistently across all 40 countries, people are more likely to return a wallet that actually has money in it than ones without it. And I'm wondering if that's because...
Not in New York. They didn't leave none of them wallets in New York.
I demand to know what countries these are.
Right? It's 40 of them, though, so it has to be a pretty wide range.
Yeah, what's the lead?
It doesn't tell me, but it just says that it's international, so it's hard to know.
I'm curious what number was the United States in that?
Oh, I know the U.S. couldn't have been.
And what number was New York?
They're number 2 to Atlanta.
I'm telling you.
Morrow, I've done civil rights my whole life. My entire life I've been engaged in civil rights. When we had the George Floyd uprising here in Atlanta, my mind was blown.
Yeah.
I'm used to picket signs, every now and a few broken windows, a couple of rocks.
Yeah.
In my whole Black life, I have never seen people break into Ruth Chris to steal steaks. People was running out of Delfsco
with whole steaks.
Uncooked. taking it home. So I don't know. I don't know what's the chance of a wallet if we taking steaks in the name of justice. So all of that's got to be reevaluated.
We need to take a moment to pray for whoever you saw running out of Ruth Chris with a crime.
It was on the news tomorrow.
That made me cry.
On the news.
Oh, that's funny. A wallet don't stand a damn chance.
No.
If we taking steaks.
We taking steak uncooked.
Uncooked. And you know they ain't about to cook that, right?
Oh, yeah.
God.
So I got a question for you. You know, what do you think the reason for this phenomenon is? Because they have a couple explanations for why they feel like this ended up turning out the way that it did, tied to kind of, you know,
yeah,
people
I couldn't speak to that more till I know the state.
Yeah,
until you know. It doesn't give me all the
we don't believe the story.
Yeah, see, like, for example, in Japan, they send 6-year-olds to go to the store by themselves. Where we wouldn't do that in the States. But the difference is in Japan, there's no child abduction.
Yeah.
The culture is different. Kids who are walking to the store wear yellow vests if they're by themselves, so the cars look out for them. It's a greater value for children. In Japan, there are no mass shootings at elementary schools because they value children. And so in order for me to speak on the honesty and the integrity of that return, we got to find that writer to give us a blueprint
of where that
on, is this Budapest? You know what I mean? Where they're exchanging a bowl of rice. You know, I don't know. I got to know where that is.
Yeah, I agree. It says countries with higher...
What is that culture? Where does integrity lie?
Want the best of Maury? Kevin, you are not.
Want the best of the Steve Wilkos show? Would you take Dave back if you left Katie?
Want the best of Jerry Springer?
Just download Nosey on your mobile device or stream it on Pluto TV, Samsung TV, or the Roku channel. Until next time, America.
This is what we're working with, okay? So, according to the Insider in Santa Cruz, police have warned people not to approach a potentially dangerous man that's been seen wandering around dressed as the Cookie Monster.
Okay.
And he literally has a name. People have been calling him. They've been calling him Evil Elmo. He went on an anti-Semitic rant dressed as Elmo from Sesame Street. And people, you know, have been reporting him, and he's been around, but authorities haven't caught him yet. I just have a question that'll be more interesting than talking about this story to me in particular. What would y'all do back in the day if you saw somebody walking around your neighborhood dressed up as Cookie Monster?
They were probably lost looking for a kid's party. But what I would say is we have a whole lot of people who are not in costume who are just as evil. And what is amazing is those evil people now have podcasts and talk about Angel Reese.
Yeah.
Those evil people are now state legislators in Tennessee and will eject 2 black legislators. Those evil people are protesting in New York saying that Donald Trump should not have been charged.
Yeah.
So the Cookie Monster is the least of our problems, of the evil people who feel as if they don't have any costume necessary and are emboldened with their face being seen while doing evil acts in broad daylight.
Yeah, I have nothing to say about the Cookie Monster. Jamal, let me ask you this, man. You know, so you are, you know, you're leading a very prominent church in Atlanta, and you have a pretty big platform. People listen to you. You're a thought leader. As you look out over, let's say, Black America, what do you see? What are you concerned about? 1, and 2, what are you excited about when you look at us?
It's going to sound trite that we are the most hopeless that we have been in a long time. Of generations who are saying, will voting even make a difference? This is the largest demographic, Dr. McMillan, of Black people who say they don't believe in anything. So that gives me concern. However, I am seeing strides. The largest number of entrepreneurs in America is Black women. The highest level of those, demographic of those who are getting doctorate degrees are Africans and African Americans. So I think even in the darkness, we're still seeing glimmers of light and hope, and I'm excited about it. Reality is I'm living in Georgia where years ago we would have never thought there'd be a Black and a Jewish senator at the same time in Old Dixie. But that same state couldn't get past the fact that Stacey Abrams was a woman to make her governor, even though they knew she was more qualified. So for every dark place, there's a bright place. So it keeps me in that yearning of knowing that better can happen. Yeah. It is just our responsibility to take the immortal words of Jesse Jackson to keep hope alive.
Listen, Dr. Bryant, I know you got to go. Thank you for being a part of this. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Morrow, congratulations on having my job.
All right, everybody. It's time to go. We've had another exciting episode. Dr. Jamal Bryant stopped by, and we didn't just talk about the cookie monster. Thank God for that.
No, we didn't. But yeah, make sure y'all check out, Pastor Bryant and everything he's got going on down in Atlanta as well. He's doing some real big stuff down there, and y'all should tune in.
Yeah, please do. Support him, support the ministry. And we'll see you next time. Thank you for being a part of all of this.
See you next week, y'all.
All right, beloved. Be well.
Be blessed.
The content on McMillan and Morrow is provided as commentary on news and current events for entertainment purposes.
Hey, everybody on the YouTube. Thank you for tuning in. If you like what you see, make sure you like and comment and share, because we got to spread the joy, people. That's how it goes. See you next time.